Hi guys, it's Beth from studionAme. I'm going to show you how to make some candles today. We're going to basically be using stuff you can find around the house, but I'll tell you the alternatives if you want to buy stuff to do it with. So we've got here some wax. We've got some big box of wax, or we've got candles that you can cut up and use, which might be an easier way of getting wax. It's all paraffin. You can of course get soy wax, which is nice to use as well. We've got tin cans. They're just your old baked bean cans. I try and get the ones without plastic coating. Wax crayons. If you want to add some colour to your wax, you can just use your coloured wax crayons. I'll show you how that works as we go. Got some essential oil. I've got a bit of lavender there because I fancy making a smelly candle. And this is candle wick, which I've brought specially, but all you need is a 100% cotton string. That's all you need, something 100% cotton. We've got a pot here, which I've got some water in. So ideally you want a pot that you're not too bothered about getting wax on. So if you've got an old pot, that's ideal, but it will clean off, so do your worst. I've got a pair of scissors, and I've got a little jam jar as well. You'll see what that's for later. So to begin, I'm going to get wax in my tins. So if you've got big lumps of wax like this, that bit's pretty easy. Oh, might need to make this one a bit smaller. But if you're working with your candles like this, you're going to want to chop them into bits. So quite a big pair of scissors. You don't want to take the wick in though, so if you chop it into bits, you can pull the wick out. I mean, you can just melt it and then pick the wick out once it's melted, but this is probably a bit better. So you put your pan on to boil on the stove, and you put your tin cans with your wax and your crayons in the boiling water. And if you just control that temperature to make it hot, but it doesn't have to be absolutely boiling, because you can see the wax is starting to melt already. I'm going to add a little bit of lavender essential oil. I think I'm going to add it to the purple wax because, you know, lavenders are purple. There we go. Just a few drops. Don't want to make it too smelly. If the wax smells nice, the candle will smell nice when it burns, so just give it a little sniff. Very nice. So as the wax melts, you'll find that it becomes much smaller because all the air gaps that were in between the bits of wax will melt down. So you might need to, at this point, add in a bit more wax. The first candle we're going to have a go at making is a dipped candle. So you want the cans to be, well, at least half full of wax really. These are little bits that I've saved from candle projects earlier. So if you don't have much wax in your tins, because you want your tins to look pretty much full, you can just top them up with a little bit of boiling water from the kettle. That has the added effect, it'll help melt the wax quicker, and it makes all your wax float to the top of the tin. So the wax floats on top of the water, and therefore we can use it. Okay, so to make dip candles like these, you have to let it cool down in between every dipping. So I've just tied my wick onto a stick here, and I've got this plastic tub which I can just put my stick over to let it cool down, and then you can make multiple candles so it won't be as boring. So I'm going to make a rainbow candle, so I'm going to start off with the red, just dip that in there, get it nice and waxy. And then I put that in the tub to cool down. I've just made this wick a little bit long, so I'm just going to tie it a bit shorter. And then when it's cooled, you can just dip it again. And then you put it to cool. You want to wait till it's nice and hard. So you see this one's still a bit soft, it's still a little warm to the touch. I'm going to leave it a second more to cool. And that's a bit better, so just dip it again. was getting impatient waiting for my candles to dry in between dunking, so I've actually put water, cold water, into one of these cups, and that speeds it up a lot. So if you're getting impatient, that'll really help. So I've gone red, orange. Now it's time for yellow, yay! And just remember, if you're doing a rainbow one like I am, you don't want to dunk it all the way down because you want to get that lovely rainbow as you go down the candle. So there we have it, a lovely pair of dipped rainbow candles, and this should be quite satisfying. If we cut through them, oh yeah, look, you can see the rainbow, the different rainbow layers all the way through. These are obviously really decorative, really lovely. Because I cheated and used water in the cooling process, they might not be the best to burn, because if little bits of water have got stuck in them, they will definitely crackle and pop. But as I think I'm just going to keep these pretty much for decoration, I'm not too worried about that. So do think about that if you're using water to cool them down. You might want to just go with air drying. Yeah, so that's how you make dipped candles. I hope you like. So I'm also going to show you how to make a poured candle. So I've got a little glass jar here, and I also have a bit of one of the old candles that I've left the wick on, and I've tied the wick around the chopstick at the perfect length to just dangle in that jar so it like touches the bottom. This is why I scented the purple wax, because you might have noticed that's the only one I scented. So the rainbow candles aren't going to be very smelly, but this poured candle is going to be nice and smelly. So you want to use one here that you haven't put much water in, or any water in ideally, because you don't want to be pouring water into your poured candle. So I'm just going to take this tin out, down there for a minute. This is really easy. I'm just pouring my lavender scented wax in around the wick, up as high as I want it to go. And then, so there's the lovely purple candle in the jar. So I think that's everything. We've done the dip candle, we've done the poured candle. Obviously you can do loads of variations on these too. As always, good fun playing with melted wax. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.